Michael Jordan might be the GOAT of basketball to many fans, but to the current generation of basketball fans, Steph Curry is the golden boy. It's impossible to see Steph play and not become a fan instantly. No defense can hold him when he starts shooting, and if you try, he can drive and score or create for others. So who is this Superman, and why is he so insane to play against on the court? To know how crazy Steph's talent is, I'm going to tell you 4 reasons Steph Curry has the world thinking he's insane. Number 4. His true shooting percentage. The actual shooting percentage of Steph is super incredible. The true shooting percentage is a more advanced basketball statistic that considers free throws, field goals of 2 points, and field goals of 3 points. When it comes to determining how effective a basketball player's shots are, it's arguable that this is the most important number there is. Steph's true shooting percentage is 69.1%, while averaging 31.7 points. That is completely ridiculous. If you don't know how incredible that is, Michael Jordan's highest true shooting percentage season was 61%, while averaging 32.5 points per game in 1989. For the late Kobe Bryant, his highest true shooting percentage was 58% when he averaged 31.6 points per game back in 2007. And King James, in 2014, he had the best true shooting percentage of his career at 65%, averaging 27 points a game. Can you see how insane Steph's numbers are? He's dominating not only the NBA's all-time greats, but routinely dominating his previous best performances. I thought I had seen the best of Steph in the 2022 finals, but if anything, the 23 season has shown just how much more he has left in the tank. Number 3. Elite scoring. Steph has proven his place in the NBA with his scoring stats, especially in the 2023 season. With a dominant 62-point performance and a victory over the Portland Trail Blazers at Chase Center, the 2-time MVP Steph Curry put to rest the criticisms that have been leveled against him. Curry's performance was a career best, and it was the first time he scored 60 points in a game. But why exactly is this so significant? Only 2 players in the history of the NBA have ever been capable of scoring at least 30 points in each of the game's 2 halves. In a game against the Dallas Mavericks in 2005, Kobe Bryant scored 32 points and 30 points in the second half. Pistol Pete Maravich scored 32 points for the New Orleans Jazz in 1977. As for Steph, he scored 31 points in each half. So Steph Curry's performance of 62 points is the highest scoring individual performance achieved by any player in the new arena that the Warriors call home. The first quarter in which Steph scored 21 points was the 27th 20-point quarter of his career in the NBA. It was the 8th time the star had scored at least 20 points in the opening period. Number 2. Advanced training. Using advanced technology to help a player achieve more with training is quickly becoming popular in sports. For basketball, Steph is one of those individuals at the forefront. Brandon Payne, Steph Curry's trainer, has him working with the FitLight system. It helps train Steph's reaction time, speed, agility, and coordination. The purpose of this equipment is to overwhelm his senses to the point where, when he's actually competing in a game, what would seem to a typical basketball player to be an extremely fast pace will appear to him to just be the normal pace of the game. Basically, he'll see things in slow motion on the court. Apart from that, Steph is also training with a piece of technology known as strobe goggles. These goggles also have the same effect as the first, but what it does is help Steph's brain reach a state of hyperspeed, so that when he's actually on the court playing basketball, his eyes will catch movements faster. And you know what's even more terrifying? These are just the training methods that we know about. Number 1. His shooting. Of course, I put this right at the top of the list. Steph Curry is without a doubt the best shooter in the annals of NBA history. Nobody has ever shot a basketball like Steph Curry does, and he has practically shattered every shooting record. Curry is one of the greatest at making difficult, long shots, and he never seems hesitant to take risks, even when it comes to taking shots that could hurt his shooting percentage. Steph Curry was able to make 5 consecutive easy baskets from beyond the arc in a video that went viral and was produced by Sports Illustrated. If it were any other player, I wouldn't believe it either. Since it was uploaded to Twitter, the video has had over 10 million views. This is the most insane thing I've ever watched, one fan said. Don't you agree? Steph Curry once again displayed his shooting prowess in a game against the Los Angeles Clippers during the regular season in the year 2014. When enclosed by 4 defenders, Steph was able to get his shot off, even dribbling through the 4 opponents. Not only did he attempt the shot, he also succeeded in making it count. When I asked him to explain his line of reasoning, he answered. When I asked him to explain his line of reasoning, he answered. And when he explained his thought process, he said, "So I do this whole move, they got the camera on him, and he's like this as I'm turning around and shooting. Because Clay is wide open on the right wing, and the right play is to kick it to him, but I'm just on autopilot, and I make it." If that's not proof of Steph's insane abilities, I don't know what is. To top the list of Steph's achievements, let's look at some of his most insane plays. Number 1. Steph Curry versus the Houston Rockets. The Golden State Warriors prevailed over the Houston Rockets in a game that was decided by a score of 7 points to 1 in favor of the Warriors. The Rockets were defeated as a result. Nevertheless, Steph Curry turned in the most impressive performance of the day. In the closing moments of the fourth quarter, Steph made a three-point shot from the corner after sending the ball flying over the court. Number 2. Steph versus the New York Knicks. At Madison Square Garden, the Warriors were defeated by the New York Knicks 105-109, which caused Steph Curry to lose his mind. By the end of that game, he had a field goal percentage of 64.3. He had pulled down 6 rebounds, dished out 7 assists, and stole 3 passes. In that game against the Knicks alone, Steph had an 84.6% three-point field goal percentage, making 11 of his 13 three-point shots. No wonder the defenders for the Knicks were unable to stop him from scoring. Number 3. Steph versus the Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors were trailing by as many as 24 points at one point during the first quarter of this game, after the Dallas Mavericks scored 42 points. Then Steph Curry came along, and Golden State gradually gained control of the game. In the third quarter, Steph Curry scored 26 points in a row, once again displaying his prowess as a three-point shooter by converting 10 of his 16 attempts that night from beyond the arc. He finished with 51 points, having made 16 of 26 field goals for a field goal percentage of 61.5. In addition to that, he pulled down 4 rebounds and handed out 4 assists. The defenders for the Mavericks had a hard time keeping up with Curry, who went to the free throw line 11 times and made 9 of them. Grabbing command of the game that night was Steph's birthright, and he did it so amazingly that in the second half, the Mavericks could not do even the most basic attacking and defending strategies correctly. Despite a massive 20-point lead going into the final quarter, the Mavericks were only able to score 16 points and ended up losing the game 144-128. Clearly, Steph Curry is a basketball guru. Shaquille O'Neal himself dubbed Steph the best player in the world by far. When offered the opportunity to elaborate, O'Neal stayed firm in his stance. Yeah, by far, O'Neal said of Curry being the best player in the world. Hell yeah, as Kenny would tell you, you can have a category, but the real ones are recognized by the championships that you have. Nobody plays better than Steph Curry. He's a tough shot taker, tough shot maker. I like where he's brought his career. So, has Steph Curry been proving Shaq right this season? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And remember, liking and subscribing to this channel makes you our MVP.